Hello, my name is Kevin and this is the Love Decanters channel. Today I'm going to talk about Georgian Dwarf ale glasses. This is a Georgian Dwarf ale glass. There's different shapes, otherwise I'd just be showing you this one and that would be it. So generally they have a shorter stem and a longer funnel shaped bowl. Not all of them are exactly funnel shaped, but this is the basic form. Small simple stem, long bowl, and you can tell this one's, but some of them are dead giveaway because it's got hops and barley engraved on the bowl. Not all of them have that. As I said, there's different forms, and the book I'm going to be relying on is the lovely 18th century English drinking glasses by Bickerton. This is, if you're going to collect 18th century glass, this is a must-have book. And yeah, I don't need any other books if I'm using this one, because it has specific illustrations for the different kinds with different dates for all of them. So yeah, a lot of books, I could pull out half a dozen books or more, probably a dozen books at least, with lots of pictures of dwarf ale glasses on. But what happens is they give you a row and they go, oh, these are from 1780 to 1820, and there's like 10 there, and you're just going, well, that's no good to me for what I'm trying to show you. I'd like to give you something a bit more precise, give you a good look at the glasses, and this is the book I'm going to use to do that. When I start, I'm going to show you something that's in the book that I don't have, because yeah, I'm a cheapskate collector. I only buy bargains, and I don't have thousands of pounds to chuck around, so I'll show you a couple of really early ones and then move on to show you what I've got. Okay, so here it goes. So I'm starting with Ellen Bickerton on the pages that I can't afford. So these are dwarf ale glasses from, the first half of the 18th century, early 1700s. They have some really fancy features on them that, like these propeller knobs, they're called. In fact, they're called 5-wing pierced knob. I've heard all them call them propellers, but what's it? You call them wing knobs? Yeah, okay, we'll go with wing knobs. And this is called flammy form, where the Ryden stuff comes up in like bits like this. So you've got, this is Ryden, where you see this, and then you've got flammy form, and look, there's flammy form on this one, where they've got these ribs, and then they've just, where they've molded this, pull it at the top. I don't know how they do that, because they're just skilled. Anyway, you'll see on a lot of the later ones that I'm going to show you this double knob feature. You can see that on a few of them. It's just got one at the bottom. Some of them don't have any, but yeah. So this is the start. This is the stuff that I don't own, and will be a semi-miracle if I find them. And if you have a semi-miracle, remember this flammy form stuff. Yeah, you've made it on. It's on other glasses, so it doesn't have to be an ale glass. But yeah, that's the business. So this is the oldest ale glass I own, and I will show you a few features on it. First, it's one with the hops and barley engraving. It has this, the bowl is not a trumpet shaped bowl. I'm not sure what this is called, the shape. But yeah, it is a basic funnel shape, and then it's got this lovely little round bottom, and it has what's known as a folded foot. So the edge of this foot would come out to here when it was being made, and they folded it back on itself. You can see it go all the way around. Bit of tooling mark there, and yeah, so that's folded in. And this white haze you can see here, that's dirt that's been trapped under the edge of the folded foot for the last couple of 100 years or so. And then here it has a broken pontle. It's quite sharp. I could actually cut my finger on it if I really wanted to. Yeah, and you can see, look at the ribs in the foot. This is circa 1740, 1750, something like that. And yeah, you can see the sort of like the tooling around the foot, and it's very difficult to tell in this light, but there are tooling marks in the bowl. It's that, yep, it's lead crystal, and yeah, this is a very nice one. And it has a little, I might show this on other glasses at other times, but it has a little blobby on the bottom of the glass, and you see that on some early glasses, a little pimple of glass. I don't know why, or a bead. It's like a bead stuck in the bottom. I don't know why it's there, but you do see them on some early glasses, and it must be something to do with the way they made them. But yeah, I was at Antiques Fair. This was like 20 years ago, and there was a guy who had a table. He must have had about 40 or 50 ale glasses, and he was selling them on for £20 a piece. And I picked 3 of them because they stood out, and this was one of the 3 I picked, which was clearly older than the others. So the glass I was just showing you, marks, page marks disappearing, has a bowl like this one, yeah, with a little round bit at the bottom, and yeah, but the bottom half of this is not like it. But if you take this glass and you chop it off about there, that's exactly the same as my glass. And this is the way it goes with these early glasses. So many little variations on things. So mine has this little knob like this, stem, nice wide folded foot. So if you just took that, winged it on there, that would be all good for this period, which is, he's got this down as 1740. And he's got this one down as 1750, and I'm happy to go with 1750 for that glass. Looks about right for me. So here's another one. This one is a bit later. I would probably say 1750s plus, maybe 60s. Yeah, it's got this kind of classic bowl shape, but it's so you'd see a lot of period wine glasses from that period about that size. You'd see that's what the bowl shape would be like, but this one's taller, and yeah, the little short stem. This one's very plain and a very conical foot. Can you see that? The conical foot there is to keep this broken pontil from scratching the table. This one doesn't feel too bad. And yeah, funny feature of this is that whoever was engraving it kind of got a bit close to the edge there. Look at that. They go right up to the edge. But I'm happy that is the natural edge, because when I go around a bit more, if you can see here, if you look at the edge here, you can just see, if I put my finger against it, you can see there's like a little ripple in the glass just inside the edge. And that's of course for when they've used shears to cut off the glass after they've blown it, and so that is the natural edge. You can see that on there, kind of like with the reflections and the way it distorts my finger a bit as it goes through. So yeah, that's just a little bit funny that the engraving goes right to the very edge of this bowl. I don't know why they did that. Normally you would leave a little bit of space to make it look a bit aesthetically better, but then again it's crude, so it is what it is. And I'll show you the reference now. If you forget what I said, I'm not going to show you the reference now. I'm going to show you another glass. So I don't think this one is an ale glass. Yeah, it's the same kind. You can see it's got the sort of like domed foot, broken pontil. It's got a massive little chips on the edge. I don't mind, because it only cost me like £2 because it was a chipped glass. And yeah, so proportionally, this, if I was to hold them up a bit, you can see the bowl on this one is a bit longer, and also yeah, the stem is much shorter. So to me, proportionally, I don't know what this is supposed to be for, but this doesn't feel like an ale glass. I think the proportions for an ale glass should be that the bowl is the foot is much shorter than the bowl. I might be wrong, but for this kind of, as they were kind of like transitioning, going to the funnel shaped, yeah, the stems are always shorter, but I might be wrong. But this might be an ale glass, but it might not be. It might be some sort of other wine glass or cider or something, but it doesn't feel like a normal ale glass. The proportions don't feel right. So here's one with a bowl that's a bit more like the one I was showing you. Slightly more rounded at the base. He's saying 1740 for this, but this one has got a folded foot and mine doesn't. So I feel it's a bit later than that. Yeah, so I'll go with that later date. Or I'll probably say 1750, 60, something like that. Here's a couple more ale glasses. I think this one is the older one. This one's sort of like stretching the stem a bit more, but they are both marked with classic ale glass, hops and ale. The foot is very domed, and he has a little bit of I don't know, it's supposed to be a knob or just where they press the stem on. They both have like a bead in the bottom. The last time I showed you had it as well. See, little beady bit in the bottom. Don't know what that is. On this one you can see where this one is a bit flatter. You can see it's not quite so much of a, and because of that, the edge of the glass is not touching the table. This patch here in the middle is, which is not normal. So the wear is not where you'd expect to see it. It's right in the middle, but it's a bit more clearer because on this sits exactly on the edge. So you can't even see it because it's sitting exactly on the edge because the foot is so domed. You just have to run your finger around it. And anyway, it's got a few little chips. Yeah, this is these are quite nice, especially this one with the. I know it's got little chips, but the domed foot makes it a little bit better. So if I'm playing the is it isn't it game, I've got another one here, which, yeah, the proportions are almost, the height is, this is very slightly taller, but the stem is longer and the bowl is shorter. So it's not engraved. The depth of the foot is about the same as this one. It's got decent wear on the edge of the foot. It's got some bubbles. If you can look, can you see the little blister bubbles in the foot? And yeah, I'm happy that this is the real thing, real 18th century, you know, sort of 1860s or 1870s or something. Glass, it's nice, got nice tool marks, nice ribs around the edge. Got tiny. What's that there? Oh, it's got a tiny little bead of sand on the rim of the glass there. Didn't notice that before. Just rubbing my finger around. So yeah, another is it, isn't it? I'm not sure it is. Even though it's only marginally different, it just feels like a different glass. Even this one, I think if this one didn't have the hops and barley on it, I'd be going, is it, isn't it, as well. But yeah, but this one's even more over the edge of not being one, to my eyes anyway. So here we are in another section of the book on plain straight stems, and yeah, this one here. Two I showed you, very like this, and the plain one is very like this as well. In fact, the plain one's more like this one here. He's dating these for 1750. Yeah, they may be a bit later, but generally in a lot of these books they put the start date. So yeah, but yeah, I'm good with that. So I've got a couple more. This is what's known as Half-ryden. So this twisting pattern goes halfway up. Yeah, there you go. It's a bit like petal moulding. I'll show you one that's petal moulded later, but twisted, because the way it ends there. This one also has a folded foot. So you see that there, where it's, the edge of the glass has been folded back on itself. With the folded ones, the glass, when you put your fingers together on it, feels quite thin, and that folding is there to make it the thin glass less chippable. And you can see the tool markings in the glass on the, and you can see there's the broken pontil there. This one doesn't feel particularly sharp. This is quite a nice glass though, not particular. It's a bit like the dome has collapsed a bit. You see it goes down and it squidges out. And then this one, this dome's got a smaller foot, big broken pontil there. It's also got a huge chunk of sand in it. Can you see that there? That's embedded in the glass. Yeah, that wouldn't pass muster for modern glass. And it's got two knobs. One of them's not very visible. You've got like a knobble there and a knobble there and a little stem between. Yeah. So yeah, the feet on these are very different. This one's more, you get this. Some of them are like bumpers like this with a rounded edge. I think this is a later one than this. Well, it's got a folded foot, so I kind of expect it to be. This one feels, because it's lightness and thinness, and the thinness of the foot feels like it's nearer mid 18th century. This one feels later. So those are the two Half-ryden ones that I have. So here we are with a ryden one without the, it's Half-ryden. This one doesn't have a folded foot. And you can see the dates, like these ones with folded foot is saying early. I think one of mine is an early one, and one is probably nearer this date. So yeah, so the one I had with the folded foot is usually earlier. So that's that. So these are the ryden ale glasses that I have. These are the sort of like the classic ryden ale glass, and they look like they're getting smaller because they are, because if I put these two end ones together, you can see, there you go. So I've done them in order so you can see there's a size variation. This one's been abused a bit because, yeah, someone's used it as a vase or something at some point for a while. It's got that mistiness in the middle. You can see a bit of sand in the glass there. This is the kind of thing you expect. They've all got broken pontils. There's a bubble. Yeah, they've all got, this one's got a bit of sand there. Can you see that? And some of them are, so these three are kind of like, the rydeness goes up and then it twists round at the top. This one as well. See the broken pontil. You can see bubbles there. It's got a knob. They've all got knobs. One on the end has got two. And let me show you this one, because this one is probably the most different of them. You can see it's got like a semi-submerged knob, then this one, and the rydeness goes up the stem, up the bowl, and also it's more consistent all the way up. It doesn't go straight and then starts to stretch around. It stretches out a little bit at the top, but yeah, it's more angled all the way up the glass, and then you've got your broken pontil. So that's that. And actually, looking at this, after talking about L.M. Bickerton, I am going to show you another book that relates to these glasses. So I'll show you Alan Bickerton first, and I'll show the other book. These are the Ryden ones. You can see it has that go up and bend over at the top. He's saying this is mid 18th century. I think mine are a mix of dates because it's slightly different features in them. So it's not all about this. It's also about this bit here, folded foot or not, knobs, how wide the foot is. Yeah, so mine are mid onwards, I would say. So this is the last one. I think this one is post, and it's like it's petal molded. So it's like the Ryden ones, but nobody's bothered to turn it. And yeah, Hajdamach. And normally these petal moldings are post 1800. Yeah, I don't know when this is made. It's actually proportionally it's quite small. I'm happy that it's right glass. Look at the big bubble there and the making of the base. Yeah, not acceptable. And for anything newer. Yeah, and yeah, I'll say it. So let me show you for comparison. Here's one of the Ryden ones. Look at that. Yeah, it's quite dingy, really. Yeah, I've got one more to show you. One that I'm less certain of. So, if you're thinking, oh yeah, where's my book reference for that one? It's because Ellen Bickerton is for 18th century glasses, and there isn't one that's like that. And that's why, one, I thought it was post 1800 anyway, but when you then don't find it in Ellen Bickerton, it kind of goes, yeah, it probably is post 1800. So this is the glass that I'm the least certain of. Oh, well, actually, I'm happy with all the others, but this is the one that I'm kind of going, is it, isn't it? It's heavier, for starters. It's got this double knob, and I bought this early on in my collecting. It's got the broken pontle, it's got wear. You hear me rub my finger on that? Yeah, like scratching on a chalkboard. The engraving seems quite crude, and some of the others are kind of crude, but not this bit especially. Not, it doesn't feel this crude, if you know what I mean. Well, I would say the others, they're primitive but not crude, whereas this feels kind of crude. I don't know how to explain that. And then my other problem with this one is that after I bought it, I've seen a few others, and I'm showing you these other glasses that I've got, and you look at the Ryden ones and they're all similar, but they ain't exactly the same. And maybe if I collected enough I would, but I've seen a few of these exactly the same with this double knob, this crude, you know, if I was buying them every time I'd seen them, I'd have about 6 or 7 of them now, all exactly the same, and it makes me very uncomfortable. It might be that I've just got my eye open for it, but yeah, I keep looking at it, and I can't put my finger on it somehow. But there's even a bit in the glass there. Can you see? But yeah, if someone can say, oh yeah, that's right, I would love to know, because it kind of, lots of it is right. There's dirt in the blooming broken pontle. The wear, it's got wear there, there's bits of crap in the glass, but yeah, it's very heavy, and it just somehow makes me uncomfortable. I've seen others exactly the same. Yeah, and also, no, almost missed it, and it's even got the bubble in the butt. So maybe it is right. Just me taking that approach of, is it wrong before I say it's right. So here's one with a straight bowl with the barley and hops, and a knob. I think that might be a double knob there. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that lovely, well, the one I'm unsure of, with much fatter, bigger, just proportionally, just something not quite right about it. But yeah, if you're saying this shape with this knob at the base, then you're talking late 18th century. So yeah, now is the time for a panic attack, because this book is titled 20th Century British Glass by Charles Hajdamach, I think. I'm not sure how you pronounce that exactly, but I have my go. I'm not going again. So yeah, 20th century, and in the back he has a section on Ligon table glass. And what do we see here? Yeah, a Ryden ale glass. Let's see if I can pick this up without breaking my elbows, because it's, look at that. Yeah, worrying, eh? So I'm sure other people were doing similar things, but yeah, how that is different is, one, I don't think they were making fakes, so I would expect if I was to see the real thing, it would look very brilliant and new and etc. Also, that foot is totally flat, so they weren't making copies otherwise. And if it's that flat, they've probably polished the pontle mark out as well, and every single one of mine has got a broken pontle. So yeah, it's not a fake, it's a copy or a reproduction. And yeah, but it is worrying if you're suddenly deciding, oh, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and get into this 18th century glass thing, and you look at all these, I'm going to do one on rubbers, and I've got a glass that's just like that. I'm happy mine's right, but yeah, when you see so many of these kind of things, because these weren't the only guys doing this kind of thing, so there's lots of different variations, and I have a couple of bits that I can probably show you at some point. I've shown you some decanters. I'll probably do a part 2 for that, because I've got even more. But anyway, yeah, just so you're still in that world of check before you buy. All those little bits that I show you, bubbles and bits of sand and scuffing and whatever, that's what you want to see. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, before you go running off and going, oh no, have I got any Ligon ones? You know, because they're 20th century and it's a real panic. So the sort of like standard Ryden ones, usually they're priced between £30 and £50. So from that point of view, you're not going to lose a lot of money. And also, on the good news side, is that the Ligon range is supposed to be designed by Gordon Russell and actually made by Stevens and Williams. So probably price-wise, if you go, yeah, this is definitely like that one, and it looks too shiny and new, and it's got a flat foot and blah blah blah, you can go, oh, it's Ligon made by Stevens and Williams, designed by Gordon Russell. So sooner you've got that provenance of this is what it is, it makes a difference, because if it's just a copy, it's a copy. If you know exactly who made it and who designed it, then it gives it a different, the context is everything, I've said previously, and yeah, it makes a difference. And so all of these ones, I kind of know they're English, and that's about all I know. And looking at LM Bickerton and try and work out the dates, and even then you're kind of going, yeah, but they made them at a period of times, and then different glass houses would have techniques that would take longer. A new style comes along and they take longer to get rid of it, so they may have been making it into the early 90s. So whereas the Ligon ones, made 20s and 30s, and that's it, and who designed it and who made it. So yeah, it makes a difference. So don't panic if you do think, oh god, I've got one of those. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more content like this, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.